Here we are again then, up at UCM 2023. It is Skills Test Week. It's always a hive of activity coming towards the end of the week. Today it's all about ICT and it's also about construction. An aura of calm, peace and intense concentration here and there. And it's Hub 1, I've got the name wrong, isn't it? It's hashtag 1, I think, the area we're in. Really nice, real relaxed area. And a couple of people to tell us more about what goes on here. If you could just introduce yourself, sir.
Michael Elliott, Head of Faculty for Digital Enterprise.
So how long has this course been going and what exactly can the students study here?
Well, this is a Level 3 BTEC 2-year A-level equivalent course, which we've been running for probably 10 or 15 years. And it's 2 years and the students do about 15 different modules in database design, web development, computing, networking, systems analysis and games programming, which is what today's all about.
And that is the massive market, I think, at the moment, the games programming.
Yeah, it is. The opportunities for students on Ireland to go and work for companies and develop games and all the different components of games as well is huge.
What sort of students do you get coming through? Are those with a sort of a scientific background or sort of artistic background or as someone said before, the geeks?
They tend to be less artistic and more scientific and geeky. Because they're designing games and they're doing the coding and the programming of how the components of the games work and how they interact with the users as well.
So it gives them a real broad base, I think, of skills to go out into the workplace.
Yeah. What you'll find is that our Level 3 students, some of them go on to do degrees in computer science or cyber security here at UCM, but a lot can go into all the different ranges of jobs in IT and computing on the island. So it is a very broad subject area.
Have you seen a boom in the number of students coming into these courses in recent years?
To a certain extent, yes. The job market's very buoyant at the moment, so there's lots of opportunities. So students are seeing that as a good way of getting into the job market and getting careers. And the careers are very long-term as well on the island.
And as you say, I suppose we're lucky at the moment in that it's the sort of skills you could take anywhere around the world, but there's plenty of opportunities here on the Isle of Man.
There is both. We have students that stay on island and work, and some of them come back to college to become lecturers and pass that information on to the future generations. But we also get students moving all over the world with jobs. So we've got people working in Google in Scandinavia, and some of our ex-students are working in Australia as well for Manx companies, but who've got branches out there as well. So it's an opportunity to travel.
Terrific. Or, as you say, you've got some ex-students come back here and actually lecture back at UCM.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really good for the students to see ex-students teaching and passing on those skills that they've learned here already.
Terrific. And we can see the students just off camera here, Chris, to one side, busy, I think, at the skills test. This is the man here who I believe is in charge of today's skills test. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Colin. I'm an ICT computing and music lecturer here. Senior lecturer, well, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And this has been developed by a Unit 8 from the course that Michael mentioned. It is a games development. So we don't just play games, okay? We actually create games from the ground up, from scratch, and it's quite in depth because we need to look at the graphics, 2D, 3D graphics. We have to look at creating them graphics inside the game engine, which we're going to be using Godot in this particular project. We have special permission to use them from there. We've had game assets, what the students are using from Kenny NL and Game Art 2D. They've supplied all the graphics for us. We have Build IT, which is part of a really good ICT company on the Isle of Man. They've got involved and they're going to be judges, as well as Chris Kissack, as well as Liam. They're going to be judging later on from 3:45-ish. Then the presentation will be 4:15, somewhere around there.
So what are the students actually doing today in the skills test? What do they actually have to achieve and be judged on?
Yeah, they create a game from scratch with pre-prepared assets that they've done themselves. And then at the end of the day, they'll have a fully working computer game, including graphics, including sound, including gameplay, including menus. It's a large task in 8 hours. Even the top professionals would find it a struggle in 8 hours from start to finish. But we got the students to do that, which is good.
And the judges are looking for what? The sort of overall finished product?
Yeah, because we've got a tick list of the criteria for each criteria. So the look of the game, how easy it is to use, the quality of the graphics, the quality of the sound, etc. So the judges will fill that in on an anonymous basis, so they don't even know who's created the game. And then we'll only find out at the presentation from adding up all the scores who then becomes winner. And then we also hand out all the prizes, which has been donated a lot by Build IT, Cool Studios.
So presumably then someone does get to play the games at some stage?
Well, they do. The judges will play the game from 4 o'clock to 4:15. They'll then fill the criteria in, and then we should be ready for go to presentation at 4:15. And
what's your background then? Are you a lifelong gamer?
I'm a lifelong computer because I'm
Are you a geek?
Oh, definitely so. I mean, without a doubt, I'm a computer geek. I mean, I've been teaching since 1985 in computing, but before then, I was developing the computer games from a long time before then. But ICT is my passion, and it always has been. It always will be.
And is it tricky to keep up? Because it all seems to me, as a non-geek, every second week there seems to be a completely new technology.
It does. The hardware is changing so fast. Within 3 to 6 months, you've got new hardware which will impact on the games industry, because then they got to start utilising the new resources and the new speed of RAM, the new speed of graphics cards to make their games top-notch. And that's difficult to keep up with, it really is.
And do you still like gaming in your spare time then when you're not actually teaching?
I'm a rubbish games player, actually. And I don't play games very well, but I create them quite well. And last summer, I created the Derby racetrack in Assetto Corsa, so people can actually play them racetracks in Assetto Corsa in real time. Chris Kinley covered that with me at the actual...
yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I had all the posters up through the summer and whatever. And it's running really, really well now, so that's quite good.
Terrific. Well, hive of activity, terrific stuff. But thanks very much indeed for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
We've wheeled ourselves into one of the rooms where the guys and girls are all busy, so we're not going to disturb them too long because, as we know, the clock is ticking and they've only got so long. I'll just wheel myself in here. Can you just introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Connor.
Hi, Connor. Skills test today. How's it going?
It's going fine. I'm the artist out of our group that we've got. I make the sprites for our game.
Okay, and when the game is?
It's sort of a farming game. You manage your own little farm and you get to plant crops to make
fantastic.
money, obviously.
Yeah, and how long have you been gaming? Or into computing?
All my life, basically. I used to be the computer expert in primary school. Anytime there was a computer problem, the teacher come to me.
He is the man you need to know. Yeah, he's the man I need to have sitting next to me, basically, when everything goes wrong. What are you hoping to do after college?
I'm hoping to go on to do a university course at the college on computer science because I want to learn more about computers so I can have more for a job eventually.
Terrific. And I'll just wheel a little bit closer in here, Chris, if we can get in. Can you introduce yourself?
My name's George.
Okay, George, so we're here, one artist. What are you working on?
I'm doing majority of the code for the game. There's quite a lot of code involved in this game, like many scripts and scenes involved.
So this is like the sort of, to a non-geek like me who doesn't understand this at all, is this the sort of the instructions which tells the game how to run, as it were?
Yeah, there's like lots of lines, and basically each feature of the game will have different lines that are attached and have like signals. So when a player does something, it'll tell a different part to react in different ways.
So how long does it actually take to create the code for a game?
Well, it depends on the complexity of the game, but it's not that. It doesn't take that long if you know what you're doing.
Easy when you know how.
Yeah.
And what do you prefer the gaming, or do you actually prefer the writing the code and actually setting up the games?
It's a lot more fun to play the game than it is to code the game.
Well, listen, I know you've got a lot to do. We'll let you crack on. Thanks very much, guys, for talking to us.
Thanks.
we've dropped back down on our whistle-stop tour around UCM. Been fantastic, great vibe up here. If you've never been, you ought to come check it out, you know. And we just dropped down to the corridor. It's busy time because it's lunchtime, people coming hither and thither. But we've managed to probably interrupt someone from their lunch or another meeting, I dare say. Would you just like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Sam Warren. I'm Head of Faculty for Environment and Sustainability, which includes construction and engineering as departments, and you're here in the construction department at UCM.
And this is where a lot of the action has been today because the skills tests have been going on, of course. What is the concept then, would you say, behind these skills tests?
It's various things. It enables our students to demonstrate their skills. It's a good way of inviting the public in to come and see, as you just mentioned, to come and see what we do here. Quite often at college, people often say, oh, I didn't know you did that. So it's very nice to get people to come in and look at what we do. It's good links with industry. So within construction, by far the majority of all of our students are apprentices and are employed within industry on the Isle of Man, and the future of construction on the Isle of Man. And so it's very good for them to set up a little competition between each other, and also for their employers to come in and to see them in their workplace here at college, which is obviously a different environment to where they are normally, and for them to be proud of their apprentices.
And I think you're absolutely right. Unless you come here, you don't realise just how much is on offer.
No, exactly. That's always what we hear. We hear it all the time. Oh, I really never knew you did that. So here within construction today, you'll see we've got our brickwork students, we've got carpentry and joinery and electrical, we've got horticulture students, plumbing and painting and decorating. So lots and lots going on. And they're all doing things in activities within their specialisms that link to the qualifications that they're actually doing and the various levels that we teach.
And again, chatting to a lot of the guys and girls today when they've been working, the vast bulk of them are already out in the workplace, but they're here improving on their skill sets.
Absolutely. So they're here, depending on what year of qualification they're doing, they're mainly on a day release programme. So they either spend 2 days in college and 3 days out in the workplace, or in the latter years they spend a day in college and 4 days out in the workplace. So it's best of both worlds. They get to get the study with us, and they also get to get the real life true experience of being out there in the workplace.
And how important do you think it is to have a faculty like this? Because it means, like I said, our next generation of professionals in whatever trades, whether it's bricklaying, whether it's hair and beauty, whether it's electrics, whether it's ICT, can train here.
It's vitally important. It's important for industry. Obviously, it's costly and difficult to get people from the UK to come across and to work here. In order for us to be able to build properties, change our properties, add different things to our properties, we need people within the construction industry with the relevant skills, and so it's very important that we grow those. And we've got very good links with our industries here because, as we say, our students are employed. It's very important for us to maintain those links with industry, and that we're delivering the skills that industry need.
And is that something which you as head of faculty and your teammates and colleagues, is this sort of reviewed on a sort of an ongoing basis?
Absolutely. We do that through, I'm talking about construction because we're here, it's the same with engineering as well. We have regular updates with our local industries and our industry bodies, and it's very important that we engage and make sure that the things that we're teaching are the things that are required. Before Christmas we had an industry day, we invited lots of industry in to talk about what it is that we do, and subsequent to that we've had subsequent meetings to determine making sure that we are delivering the skills that we need to deliver.
And if people do want to find out more, can they come up and sort of have a chat and sort of see what's going on?
We run various events throughout the year. We have open evenings and we have information mornings. So we're always open to the public, and if people want to get in touch, then it's possible for us to do individual tours, especially from an industry perspective. So yeah.
Terrific. It's been a great hive of activity today. We've had a wonderful whistle-stop tour. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Okay, thank you very much.